What you're going to need for developing film is a reel, a light, tight development tank, a dark bag, which I don't have right now, so I'm going to be doing all of this in the bathroom with all the lights off and any light leaks blocked with a black towel, just so it's pitch black. And you're going to need a bottle opener, scissors, and of course your roll of film. Once you get the film on the reel and in the tank, we can move to the next step. I'm going to demonstrate how to open up the 35mm canister and how to put it on the reel with a defective roll of film. It's just good to practice this in the light because once the light's out, you have to do everything by feel only. There are two ways to open up a film canister. So one is with a bottle opener and the second is by forcing it open in case you don't have a bottle opener. So I'll demonstrate how to open up this 35mm film canister. This isn't dummy roll, so it has been opened before. It's just I put it back together so I can demonstrate this video for you. So this is the top of the 35mm roll, this is the bottom, and this is the opening where the film usually gets fed out of. So when using a bottle opener, I like to jam the bottle opener right where this groove is. It's a bit of a lip, so it allows you to kind of forcefully put it here and pop it open. I'm not going to do it just because I want to show you the second version, and that's if you take a pair of scissors, you can actually jam it where the opening is, and you can force this open and actually peel it open to access the film inside of here. I don't particularly like forcing the canister open that way just because it is sharp, you can cut yourself, so I prefer to use a bottle opener. So you just jam it in and we're gonna peel it open like that, and that way you can access what's inside. So once we open the film canister, it's a bit tough. That now that this gets pulled out, try not to handle the top just because that's where the pictures are. You don't want to get any sweat from your fingers to transfer onto the film. So I just roll it gently like this, in the dark of course. And once you get to the end of the roll, you're going to notice that it's actually secured onto the film. All right, so you'll see here, it's secured. So you take the scissors, make sure you handle everything properly. I like to place my fingers here just so I know where I'm cutting. I'm not cutting too far into the film and ready to be put onto the reel. I am going to get a bit closer just so you can see what a 35mm reel looks like. So this metal reel here, you'll see that there's a tab in the center that the film hooks onto. You have to just make sure it's centered because if it is offside, it'll cause the roll to not be put on even, and it'll cause creasing and bends in the film, which can damage your film when you're developing. You'll see that there'll be moons and creases and all kinds of weird stuff happening. So just make sure it's centered. And then you'll take the bottom of this and you'll hook it on, so you pull this down and this clips inside. Make sure it's tight. That. So now that you have the film clamped in the middle, I hold onto both sides of the film where the sprockets are. Try not to touch this film like I said before because the oils on your fingers can transfer onto the film, and when you develop the film it will show it inside the photograph. So try not to touch it as much as you can. So middle finger, thumb, they're holding it in place, and you're just going to use your left hand to spin it and keep the film as straight as possible. If you find that there's becoming some what they call moons or bending, just go backwards, go to the start, because it means that something isn't straight. Then we can do this again. Do this in the light as many times as you need, just to get used to how it feels, what the sounds sound like, because when you're in the dark you can't see anything. And the main goal is to make sure that the film is on the reel without the film touching itself all the way to the center. Here's a close-up of the film on the reel. You'll see that if you look at like different angles, the film isn't touching itself. It's all nicely separated. So that's your end goal. You want it to all be separated and nicely placed on the reel. If the film is touching itself, once you put in the development tank and you start to develop, you'll notice that the chemicals can't reach in between all the film and it'll get stuck together, it won't process or develop properly. So you just want to make sure it's as even on the reel as possible. It takes a few tries to nail this, but again, do it as many times as you need to in the daylight, get used to the feel. Once you're done, make sure you put it inside of the development tank and seal it.